Good afternoon.
This is Ryan Tan. At a very young age, he faced the heartbreak of losing his father.
So it was very difficult for me, yung high school.
Life took a dark turn. Troubles and vices became his reality.
I tried joining the cool groups. Kung ano yung trip nila, I just ride along. Kasi gusto ko maging in eh. So I guess yun din yung reason kung ba't na nag-vices and all of that. So, wrong company.
Anong mga ginagawa mo during that time nung nasa high school ka?
The usual drinking.
But then, the Lord Jesus intervened.
Merong isang pastor na nag-preach eh. Sabi niya, pay attention to the tension in your heart. Kasi sometimes that's how God speaks to you.
Inspired by his wife's unwavering passion for the dental industry, the unimaginable happened. From being a voice proclaiming the kingdom of God,
and in total, I served in the ministry for 20 years.
Wow.
Becoming the leader of one of the top dental clinics in the Philippines. Ryan Tan's journey is a testament to the extraordinary power of faith and transformation.
Naubos yung support ko that month. 3 days before pa darating yung next support. Wala na akong food. Nahiya naman akong humingi sa mga kasamahan ko. So, napipray lang ako kay God. So, forced fasting ako nung first day. Second day, forced fasting. Tapos, nung third na, napansin na ako nung housemate ko na hindi niya ako nakikitang kumakain. Tapos, natutulog ako ng maaga lagi. So, nung third night na, ginising niya ako. Sabi niya,
Money Masters with Chinky Tan.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on Shake Positive are their own and do not necessarily represent those of the producers, hosts, or network. Viewers should perform with their own research.
Dating probinsyano, ngayon, CEO na ng sariling kumpanya. Paano nangyari yun? Yan ang alamin po natin. Hi there, this is Chinky Tan, your pambansang wealth coach for today's episode. Grabe, we are so blessed and privileged na makakausap natin. Isang tan din. Oo, isang tan. Magkakamag-anak daw kami. Anggal nga namin si Lucio sa panaginip lang Pero yun nga, he came from a simple background pero right now ikukwento niya yung buong storya. Paano siya nagkaroon ngayon ng maraming branches na mga dental clinics. Let us welcome right now in our episode the CEO of, syempre, Elevate Dental Clinic, Ryan Tan. Hi, Ryan.
thank you, Chinky. Good to see you again.
Ryan Tan, CEO of Elevate Dental, a leading name in digital dentistry with clinics across Metro Manila.
Good to see you again.
Nakon, matagal na tayo hindi nagkikita.
Oo nga eh. Thank you for inviting us to your show. And always you've been a source of inspiration to me nung nag-meet tayo sa church. Pastor pa ako noon, businessman ka na. But you're always somebody na we're very inspired kasi in spite of your busy schedule, you always find time to still make yourself available.
Salamat.
Service.
Sige, kasi marami kasing curious, no? Yun nga, nabanggit na niya na nag-meet kami sa church and he was one of the pastors of our church. And mamaya kukwento niya yung kung paano nangyari yun at saka ano yung transition. Pero let us go back to your childhood. Ano yung environment mo when you were growing up?
First of all, I'm the youngest of 8 siblings. So I have 5 sisters, tapos 2 brothers, 8 kami. Yung tatay ko was pure Chinese from China. Tapos yung mama ko naman is Filipina. So originally we're from Quezon. So doon sila nag-meet. Originally Katanawan, Quezon.
Province.
Oo, medyo malayo from here, no.
Okay.
Nag-meet sila. Actually ngayon naisip ko pa rin nga paano sila nag-start yung love story kasi wala pa namang Google Translate nung hindi ko alam paano sila nagkaintindihan, no.
Talaga.
Pero yun, they fell in love and then nabuo yung family namin. So
Coming from a sibling of 8, walo siya. May negosyo ba si Papa? Paano ba yan?
So yung family side ng tatay ko into business talaga. They have RTW, may involved sila sa Copra Oil, mga things like that. So they are into business. In fact, nung nagkatuluyan na sila nung mama ko, she got pregnant early bago siya mag-graduate ng high school. Ang advice nung tatay ko is after graduation ng high school, wag na siya mag-college kasi mag-aalaga lang siya ng kids tapos yung papa ko will do business naman, which yun yung finalo nila na advice. But unfortunately, yung papa ko, he passed away early. I think grade 3 ako kaya wala masyadong memory din nung papa ko talaga. So after that, yung mama ko, she was left with the responsibility to take care of us. Okay?
Okay.
And pag kinikwento nga niya, sobrang na-inspire ako sa kanya kasi syempre, high school grad lang siya. Tapos, di siya tinulungan ng family side ng papa ko.
Talaga?
Hindi siya tinulungan ng family side niya. Kasi at that time, parang nagtampo yata
Oo, kasi...
yung nanay niya. Kasi parang sinayang mo yung education. Yung other siblings niya, nagtitake ng medicine, something like that.
Ano yung financial challenges na experience na hindi mo makalimutan?
Siguro yung fragment of memory sa akin. Kasi nung si mama yung nag-aayos pa sa amin. No? She's averaging mga 3 hours of sleep lang a day.
Grabe.
Kasi she wants to be able to work more. Kasi ang dami namin Ang daming kailangan pakainin, ang daming kailangan pag-aralin, bihisan. So, kita ko yung struggle. And also yung mga kapatid ko, syempre dahil solo siya, gusto man niya mag-spend time sa amin lahat. Hindi eh. So, nung lumalaki ako, yung family dynamics namin, that's not really good. Actually, bago ako napunta sa church, hindi normal for us to say, I love you, kumain ka na. So, hindi kami expressive sa isa't isa. So, probably overwhelmed na rin yung mama ko at that time na ang priority niya is to really provide.
Alam mo, culture yan guys, no? I hope you understand. Me, being raised also in a Filipino-Chinese background, culture naming mga, na-experience ko sa father ko, na hindi rin sila expressive. Yung pamamaraan nila na pagpapakita ng pagmamahal is by becoming a good provider. Pero hindi siya verbal, hindi siya physical, hindi siya emotional. So, ganun din yung experience nyo. And then siguro, gusto ko rin malaman yung dynamics, di ba? 8 kayong magkakapatid nakakain. Hindi biro yan Ito lang siyempre, lalo na pagdating sa manok, mga kapatid. Ang manok, 2 lang hita. Oo. Kung, 'di ba, kung 8 kayo, siguro magluluto ng mga 3 manok 'yun. Kung 6 lang yung hita ng manok, may kulang pa ng 2. So, nagkakaroon ng problem during that time.
Yeah, actually, lumaki ako na medyo galit sa akin yung mga kapatid ko, especially yung 2 brothers ko. Kasi favorite.
Ay, ikaw bunso
So, big portion.
Ikaw parate.
Ako parate. Tapos, laging bias. So, kaya medyo, sila, parang laging dehado, kumbaga.
Grabe.
So, kaya siguro somehow, parang medyo na-shield ako doon sa experiencing yung trials talaga ng complete impact.
Pero yun nga, kahit na on that aspect, medyo okay kayo. Pero I'm sure lahat tayo, meron tayong tinatawag na trauma when we were growing. When we were growing up, I don't know kung naniniwala kayo, no? Kung paano ka pinalaki nung bata pa, nakaka-apekto kung anong pananaw mo sa buhay ngayon. Diba? So, ano yung parang trauma na na-experience mo because of the dynamics, wala na si Papa, diba? Ano yung hindi mo makalimutan na talagang point ng buhay mo during that time?
Siguro nung high school na nakabalik ako ng private. Tapos, syempre, yung mga kaklase mo, yung iba may kotse na, high school pa lang. Tapos they get everything that they want. Tapos ako parang uniform ko, 2 sets lang. For 1 week, mga ganon. And then,
buti 2 sets, hindi yung galing sa minana pa.
Pass me down.
Oo, may mga iba ganun.
Oo. So hindi ko, syempre high school, alam mo yun, the stage of insecurity, comparison. Tapos di ko naman naintindihan yung journey nung mama ko talaga completely. So it was very difficult for me, yung high school.
In other words, marami ka mga insecurities when you were, syempre yung personality mo, tapos affordability, and then not only that, identity. Diba? Kasi syempre, buong pamilya, may kaya, tapos si mama ko, ganito. So during the time na, yun nga, na-insecure ka, meron bang mga taong nambully sa'yo?
Oh yeah, madami.
Talaga?
Madami. Kasi nung high school ako, isa rin ako sa pinakamaliit
Okay. Payat ka, I'm sure.
Payat.
Okay.
Yeah, marami yung mga classmates. It was really a tough
Ano sinasabi sa'yo?
Wala lang, nilalait ka. Diba? Parang kulang ka sa Star Margarine, mga ganon.
So yun, nung nabubuli ka, ano yung pakiramdam during that time?
Siyempre, it felt terrible. Parang you're hopeless. Diba? You're powerless. Hindi gusto mong lumaban. Kaya lang, ang laki nila, diba? Tas ang dami nila. Parang you just keep it to yourself and go on with your life. Pero siyempre, laki ng effect din, diba? Sa confidence, self-esteem, yung self-worth. So, I guess that's part of the things na I struggled with. And then, eventually, when I graduate of high school,
Siguro before the graduate of high school, ano yung ginagawa mo para to overcome yung mga ganong insecurity? Kasi may compensation yan eh. Di ba? Ang tawag natin, meron tayong sariling instinct, yung defense mechanism. Yung mga iba, para hindi mapagalitan, di ba, yung mga iba, ang ginagawa, nagtatapang-tapangan, di ba? In your case, pag ganun, paano mo kinocompensate yung insecurity mo para mapatunayan sa ibang tao, hindi ako ano?
Tried joining the cool groups. Tapos, kung ano yung trip nila, I just ride along. Kasi gusto ko maging in eh. So, I guess yun din yung reason kung ba't na nag-vices and all of that. So, wrong company.
Anong mga ginagawa mo during that time nung nasa high school ka?
The usual drinking, alcohol, napadrugs din because of the longing to be accepted by the group. Kasi if you do that, then you're in. If you don't, you're out. Kaya kahit na hindi ko talaga siya gusto, I still did it for...
Yeah, pero during that time na nangyayari, alam mo ng mama mo?
Hindi niya alam, pero I'm sure na papansin niya yung mga changes sa akin. But yun nga eh, parang siguro, baka hindi niya na rin alam paano ba ako i-handle during that time. Actually, sa family namin, I was considered the black sheep. Because of, yun nga, kung ano-ano nang napapasukan ko because of that. But during that time, I was just researching. I'm really lost and I'm just really trying to find identity, I guess.
Guys, kung sino sa inyo ngayon ang nanonood at nakikinig ng ano na yun, then yung nakaka-relate ka kay ano, na yung during your teenage years na naghanap ka ng parang purpose mo, yung pagkatao mo, belonging mo, to the point, yung nga, napasama ka sa mga taong mga mali na akala mong tama. Kung nakaka-relate kayo, type relate naman sa comment section right now. Ano naman yung turning point ng buhay mo na na-realize mo, oy, sandali lang, there's something wrong, at paano ito nagbago?
Well, nung college, Chinky, ano na ako nun eh, parang it got worse eh. From high school to college. So, andun ako sa point na parang, ano na ako, desperate na. So, nung nag-college ako, may na-meet ako na group. Okay, ito yung mga from church na nagre-reach out sa school, nag-share ng Bible and all. So, I guess at that time, parang I was open already. And I started attending. And then eventually, parang feeling ko nagkaroon ako ng encounter kay God until I got involved and I started seeing yung change sa life ko. I started seeing parang nagbabago yung perspective ko, yung mindset ko, nahi-heal ako sa mga hurts ko in the past. Eventually, parang I feel like I found my purpose. I found my identity. Na God has created me for something significant, that I have a great destiny in God. And when I started hearing those messages and started internalizing it, I began to see changes happening in my own life.
Ano yung mga pagbabago na nangyari sa buhay mo?
Dati sa studies, talagang hindi ako nag-aaral. Gusto ko lang makagraduate, get a diploma, tapos mag-business, tapos cheating and all. Pero nung nagkaroon ako ng encounter kay God, parang nagkaroon ako ng vision for leadership, for integrity. And so, I started saying no to yung mga bagay na...
Oo, yung mga siguro, yung mga kaibigan mo, dati iniwanan mo na yung mga kaibigan mo.
Yeah. Tawa, niloloko-loko pa nga ako, alive nung una eh. So, pinipersecute na nila ako after that kasi nakita nga nila parang iba na yung iba na yung direction ko.
Eh paano naman, ano naman yung pagbabago na nakita ni Mama sa'yo?
Super happy siya. Super happy siya, pati yung mga kapatid ko. They were also surprised. Parang na sila ready to give up na eh. Oo, parang wala na silang magawa. Parang they don't know now what to do with me. Tapos...
Buti hindi ka pala na-rehab during that time, no?
Oh yeah, oo. Actually, hindi ko na-mention sa'yo, nung high school, meron kaming batchmate na salvage. Oo, so...
Kasama niyo sa grupo?
Kasama namin sa group because of, na rin siya naging drug dealer na rin siya. Kaya at that time, desperate na sila. Kaya yung college talaga na nagka-turning point yung life ko, super happy talaga yung mama ko, yung family namin. They saw na may hope pala.
Yeah. Uy guys, seryoso tong usapan na ito. Kung sino man sa inyo ang nakikinig at nanonood ngayon na meron kayong kaibigan o kamag-anak na who's in the world, in the dark world of drugs, I'm sure magulo sa loob ng pamilya. Kasi ang mga addict, di ba? Pag wala yan, gagawa ng paraan para magkaroon. So, either maninindak yan kung hindi ka makuha sa sindak, magnanakaw yan. Umabot ka rin ba sa point na gano'n?
Oo, yeah. Marami nang nawawala sa loob ng bahay namin kasi parang pag bumababa yung dosage mo, parang you need to find another shot. So, syempre, estudyante ka, wala ka namang pambili, di ba? So, yeah, you end up getting from your own house.
Grabe. Ay, nako. So, after you have encountered, nalaman mo na yung purpose mo, yung meaning mo sa buhay, ano pwede mo sabihin na yung proudest achievement mo during that time when you had an encounter with God?
Nung nagka-encounter ako kay God, nagkaroon ako ng vision for my life. I started dreaming na someday God will be able to use me to make a difference in the lives of other people and that I'll be able to accomplish something significant with my life.
Okay.
And God somehow answered that, starting from my school, from somebody na struggling sa academics, na pasaway. Believe it or not, Chinky, nung last year ko sa college, naging akong vice president ng student council sa buong university. I ran for student government. I campaigned in all departments and I actually won the election. Yun yung first na I realized na I can really accomplish something. And that was like the first aha moment or eye-opener.
Malaking milestone yun kasi parang proof of concept yan. Na kaya ko pala na accepted ako. Again, yung di ba, nalaman mo yung purpose. Siyempre, nalaman yung purpose, dapat ang next na one. Sige nga, test nga natin kung talagang yan ang calling and purpose mo. So, na-vote ka, maybe maliit sa ibang tao, pero para sa it's a big thing.
Oh, yeah. Especially, yung mga kalaban ko noon, mga talagang mga, kumbaga, ito yung mga kino-considered talaga na mga honorary students, mga representative ng university namin. Parang David and Goliath concept nung tumakbo ako, parang ganun. I think God just gave me a glimpse na God can do something with someone who is ordinary in the eyes of people and use them to do extraordinary things.
So after that, after nung college, ano nang ginawa mo?
Yun, I got involved in campus ministry. Masyado ako naging active and passionate until such time na nearing my graduation sa college, I felt like God was calling me to serve in the ministry. So, sa mind ko, original plan ko after college, magbi-business ako.
Okay.
Kaya lang parang sabi ko, sige Lord, I'll set aside muna tong desire na to, itong dream na to. Siguro, the next 2 or 3 years of my life, I'll dedicate it to you. And then after that, I'll pursue my ambition.
Okay.
Kaya lang nung pumasok ako, hindi na ako nakalabas, Chinky. It went on like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And in total, I served in the ministry for 20 years.
Wow.
Oo.
20. Pero ito lang balik tanaw tayo. Siyempre, nung sinabi mo sa mama mo, ibang storya yun eh. Ama, gusto kong muna sa ministry mo na. Ano sabi ng mama mo?
So nung una, happy siya na nagba-Bible ako, nagpi-pray ako, na, wala na akong bisyo and all. So, pero nung sinabi ko na after graduation, magsiserve ako sa simbahan, sabi niya, walang mangyayari sa'yo. Wala namang sabi niya, wala namang problema magsilbi ka sa simbahan. Pero taguyod mo muna yung sarili mo. Magnegosyo ka muna, mag-ipon ka muna. Pag okay ka na, then mag-serve ka. Oo, kasi walang pera sa simbahan, which is totoo, no?
Totoo.
I discovered wala talaga pala.
Ang gulo ka usap ng mama mo. Di ba? Nung inaayos na maayos na yung buhay, okay na eh. Pero pagdating na sa pera, hindi, walang pera dyan.
So very concerned siya sa future ko.
Exactly. Exactly. I understand. So right now, bring us to that moment. Siyempre, nung nagmi-ministry ka na, magkano ang sweldo nun?
First sweldo ko, 2,500 a month.
Anong taon?
2000, year 2000. Pero ano yun maliit talaga yun. Pero nakatira pa rin kasi ako sa mama ko eh.
Oo naman.
So libre yung grocery ko, renta and all. Pero yung 2,500, hindi pa rin talaga kasi pag nagmi-minister ako sa mga estudyante, nililibre mo rin yan, di ba? So I started with that. And then nagkaroon ng program sa church kasi maliliit pa yung simbahan noon eh. Parang mga 30 people lang yung member. Hindi kayang pasweldohan talaga. So, merong program na mag-share ka ng vision mo sa ibang simbahan, tapos invite mo sila mag-partner sa'yo,
magre-raise ka
mag-pledge.
ng funds.
Mag-raise ka ng funds. So technically, wala kang sweldo. Nabubuhay ka sa faith or nagtatrust ka kay God. So I lived that way for 5 years. Na wala kang sure na magkano papasok kasi umaasa ka lang naman sa pledge ng mga tao. Pero may fixed bills ka eh. May phone bill ka, may ganyan. So, tatandaan ko, Chinky, hindi ko malilimutan kasi na-assign ako sa Manila. First time kong umalis ng probinsya. Okay? Dumating ako sa Manila 2005. At first, hesitant ako kasi ang dami ko napapanood sa news na baha, hold up, especially recto.
Oo naman.
So, takot na takot yung mama ko din. First time ko rin mahiwalay sa mama ko. Hindi ako marunong magplancha, hindi ako marunong maglaba, hindi ako marunong magluto hindi rin ako marunong mag-commute. So, imagine, nung pumunta ako ng Manila, shoot up lahat ng expenses ko.
So, umuupa ka rin?
Umuupa rin ako noon. Okay, tapos, yun nga, naka-pledge lang, maasa ka lang sa pledge ng mga tao. So there was one time, kasi lagi ako naka-taxi, hindi ako marunong mag-commute eh. Naubos yung support ko that month. 3 days before pa darating yung next support. Wala na akong food. Nahiya naman akong humingi sa mga kasamahan ko. So nagpipray lang ako kay God. So forced fasting ako ng first day. Natutulog ako ng maaga para... Second day, forced fasting. Tapos nung third na, napansin na ako nung housemate ko. Na hindi niya ako nakikitang kumakain, tapos natutulog ako ng maaga lagi. So, nung third night na, ginising niya ako. Sabi niya, kunwari, nagpapasama siya. Sa mama ko, may bibilin lang ako sa labas. So, nagpe-pretend ako na tulog. Sige na. Tapos, dinala niya ako sa karinderya. Tapos, pag-upo, sabi niya sa akin, order ka na, alam ko, di ka pa kumakain. So, iyak talaga ako. Kasi parang,
grabe, no?
Oo, parang sabi ko, Lord, nagsiserve ako sa'yo. Bakit wala akong food na ganito? So, yeah. Pero yung moment na yon, Chinky taught me how to really rely on God completely for all that my needs. Yung hindi ka nagpaparinig, hindi ka umaasa sa ibang tao. And yung muscle na yon, it helped me a lot, especially nung may family na. And so, I feel like, hindi ako box kung magkano pera ko sa wallet or sa bulsa. Parang I can follow God, I can do what I need to do.
Guys, kasi medyo yung kinikwento mo, it's very close to my heart. And even though I've never experienced yung ganun, yung live by faith ba? Kasi pero I can remember nung wala rin kaming makain during that time na we cannot afford. So I know that feeling. Kaya kung ikaw nakikinig at nanonood din na ganun din ang pinagdadaanan nyo, let me assure you na God will never leave you nor forsake you. Na God knows your needs and He will provide all your needs according to His glorious riches. Gusto lang ni Lord talaga na magtiwala ka.
Yeah.
Di ba? Naalala ko tuloy yung sa Matthew, even the birds in the air.
Yeah.
Di ba? Hindi sila nagtatanim, pero God provides for the birds. Di ba? Parang kung ang ibon, inaalagaan ni Lord, paano pa kaya tayong tao?
Yeah,
mas mahalaga tayo.
Exactly.
So, you started your family, di ba? At you mentioned, di ba, na 20 years ka na sa ministry. What made you decide na after 20 years na sinabi mo, I want to start my own business, I want to find my own, siguro, yung own path right now, yung career mo?
Yeah. Actually, Chinky, nung nag-ministry ako, yung desire ko for business never left my heart. Oo. Actually, at that time, hindi ko rin siya naiintindihan. I just know na it's always there. So, inisip ko, siguro, pag nag-retire ako, baka I can give this dream, a chance. Oo. So, I just kept it there for so long. Pero nung mga 15th year ko na into ministry, parang I started feeling the tension getting stronger inside of me. And nag-struggle ako noon kasi ang mentality namin noon, or maybe ako lang, as a pastor, is once you become a pastor, you'll be pastor for the rest of your life. Oo. Ito, yun yung understanding ko ng calling eh.
Hindi, yung parang may statement eh. The calling of God is irrevocable.
Yes.
Oo. Yun yung parang, di ba, yung parang nabenta.
Oo, ang interpretation ko nun is it pertains to your work.
Career.
Oo, specific work or career.
Oo.
I didn't realize that it's your purpose eh. It's
Exactly.
Your, yeah, oo.
Iba
na,
yun eh.
Na your work can change, the expression of that calling can change, but the calling is still the same.
Oo.
The purpose is still the same.
Totoo yun. Totoo yun.
So, kaya I was struggling kasi parang ano tong nafe-feel ko na to?
Parang feeling mo, di ba? Parang hindi tama.
Oo.
Hindi tama in the sense, Lord, bakit? Ako ba ilalabas na? Parang hindi na ako susunod sa'yo. Parang ang feeling, di ba? Ganun
Oo,
ba yun?
parang ginigive up ko ba? Tinatalikuran ba
Oo,
kita? Parang,
oo.
ano ba na, ikaw ba to? Or I'm just pressured because of the need that I see? And ayokong gumawa naman ng decision dahil lang sa pera. I know na, you know, when you make a decision, you don't start with money. Especially major decisions in life. So, kaya I really struggled for many years. I tried to talk to people.
As a matter of fact, isa ako sa kinausap ito. Hindi kasi nung ko pa, we belong to one church nga sa may Green Hills. Kinakausap ko nito, ano magandang negosyo na umpisahan during, nung nag-active ko pa. Di ba nagkukwentuhan tayo, pero yun nga.
Yeah.
I never thought na ganun na pala yung ano mo.
Yeah, until finally, merong isang pastor na nag-preach eh. He said something that really, I think, made me, help me decide. Sabi niya, pay attention to the tension in your heart. Kasi sometimes that's how God speaks to you. Hindi mo siya ma-explain. Usually, pag may ganun ako, I talk to my wife, we pray together, and ang practice kasi namin ng wife ko is, pag isa sa amin walang peace, we don't decide. Pero pag parehas kaming may peace, then we go for it. And nung nagpipray ako na, ano ba? You think, si God ba to? And nung 2019, parehas kami for the first time na we felt like, I think si God na to. And then, sabi sa Bible, there's a time for everything and season for every activity under heaven. And I realized that maybe that's really a season in my life. Na ginamit ako ni God sa ibang tao. Ginamit din ni Lord yung situation na yon to develop me, to grow me. It's a long journey.
Totoo.
Where I am today is a continuation of that plan.
Wow.
And I'm excited na, God gave me the opportunity. Meron nga isang verse sa Bible, di ba? Delight yourself in the Lord and He will give you the desires of your heart. So, I realize na ang galing pag akala mo, sinet aside mo yung dream mo, akala mo, tinapon mo, pero alam mo, if you pursue God, God will give you the desire of your heart eventually.
Galing eh. Alam mo yung sinabi, I hope nakapulutan nyo to ng aral lang. Pag wala kang kapayapaan sa puso at parating mabagabag ka, ibig sabihin, may ginagawa na ang Panginoon sa buhay mo. At huwag mong deny ba?
Yeah.
Kasi minsan, dine-deny natin yan eh. Wala yan. Pero deep inside, hindi mo alam, yan na yung redirection ng Diyos para sa buhay mo.
True.
And then number 2, napakalaga, lalo na bilang mag-asawa, na kailangan magkaisa kayo sa lahat ng desisyon nyo. Kasi ang hirap kung yung isa gusto, yung isa ayaw. Tama? Yun nga, yung the power and the principle of agreement eh. Ngayon, anong pinasok nyong negosyo? Anong pinasok nyo?
Well, bago pa ako mag-decide, may yung wife ko was already running a dental clinic. Okay,
Dentist siya?
Oo, dentist siya. Nag-put up siya ng small clinic sa BGC. Started with 1 chair. Tapos, after like 10 years, it grew. Naging 3 chairs or 4 chairs.
10 years, ha? 10 years?
Oh, yeah. Talagang chinaga niya talaga. Siya lang. Naging starting point ko to help her. Because at that time, it's too much. Siya yung HR, siya yung social media, siya yung finance. So, parang na siya, overwhelmed na. So, Chinky, nung nag-transition ako, nung nag-decide ako to exit from the ministry and help in the business, 5 months after nag-lockdown. COVID!
2020.
After the lockdown, nag-stop lahat ng church activities for 1 year.
Oo.
Wala talaga lahat. Tapos
at saka, ang hirap kasi nun, guys, ito, yung dental kasi, physical, at saka at the same time, you have to open your mouth.
Yeah,
So, walang client.
Wala. I mean, the first 3 months, we're forced to look for other means to earn. Nagbenta kami ng mga vitamins, mga mist machines, para lang may pang grocery and all. Pero after 3 months, nung medyo they're allowing na yung mga essentials, kasama yung dental. We started opening the clinic, pero nakakatakot yung time na yun, Chinky, kasi you'll never know kung yung pasok mo na yun yung last mo.
Yung risk factor.
The risk factor, kaya no wonder during that time, maraming clinic na close.
Okay.
And we are one of the few that opened. At first, parang fear. Eventually, parang we saw na, wait, sandali, parang God is showing us an opportunity. In many ways, pandemic was very difficult, pero it also become one of our biggest break.
Ang nangyari niyan, since maraming sarado, kailang ang bukas.
Maraming pumunta sa
O maraming pumunta sa inyo, nagkaroon kayo ng opportunity doon.
Yeah.
So, paano nyo nalaman na talagang ayan na parang mukhang ito na yung break na hinihintay natin? Ano yung sign?
We started seeing mga private patients coming to our clinic. Nung nag-start ng clinic yung wife ko, yun talaga yung vision niya. Kaya dito siya nag-put up sa BGC. She wants to cater to this kind of community. Pero the first 10 years, it was really hard to introduce yourself, to establish your credibility. So it was a slow start. Pero nung pandemic, all of a sudden, parang the door opened for us.
Okay.
And ang dami ring nag-close na mga stores. So yung mga spaces na dating gusto naming i-negotiate na hindi namin kaya, hindi available, all of a sudden,
nag-open.
Open na siya.
Wow.
At very favorable yung mga rates.
Sige, syempre marami siyang dental clinic, di ba? What set your dental clinic apart from others?
We have this vision, Chinky, of elevating the dental experience in the Philippines. Actually, tinanong ko pala yung wife ko, naalala ko ngayon. Kasi nung bago ako sa clinic, I'm observing how we operate, I'm studying the market. Tapos, I asked her, sabi ko, nagsisimula ka, minsan sobrang aga, matatapos ka sobrang late, tapos the following day gagawin mo ulit. What makes you excited to keep doing this every single day? Tapos ang view mo, saliva, cavity, parang blood, parang I'm imagining myself, if I'm in your position, parang di ko yata ma-imagine na, wow, I'm excited for my job. Pero sabi ko, what makes you excited? Sabi niya, it's the fulfillment of knowing you're able to give excellent treatment to your patient. When you see their smile, pag alam mo, nagawa mo yung best mo, and alam mo yung patient happy talaga.
Yeah.
So,
tell us a story. Isang particular story na hindi nyo makakalimutan.
Nung pandemic, merong isang commercial model na pumunta sa amin, nasira yung ngipin niya during the pandemic, tas wala rin siyang work, di ba? So, nung nag-open na, she's desperate to get a project. Kaya lang, ang problem, mag-VTR siya. Pangit yun. Hindi siya makasmile, wala siyang confidence. So, kinausap niya kami. And sabi niya, can we help her? So, in short, tinulungan namin siya, and she was able to get the project. And then followed by another one, tuloy-tuloy na ulit. So until now, she will go back to us and say, thank you talaga kasi tinulungan niyo ako. And she's one representation of our vision of elevating people's lives one smile at a time. Kasi yun yung vision namin, Chinky. We want to make a difference. We are talking ng wife ko, and what do we want to be known for?
Okay.
Oo. So parehas kami na we want to be known for excellent patient experience. We want our work to go beyond dental. Parang we envision our work to, to contribute to elevating the lives of people.
One smile at a time.
Yeah.
Wow, ganda-ganda naman. So ngayon, how many branches do you have already?
3 as of now. We have 2 sa BGC, sa Mitsukoshi Mall, tsaka Bonifacio Stopover, Shangri-La Plaza branch.
Coming from 8 siblings, tapos na-orphan ka ng mas babata sa father, and then from insecurity to purpose, from purpose right now to having your own business. How has your life changed ever since na-overcome mo lahat ng mga challenges? Paano naman? Siyempre, dati, wala ka makain, di ba? Naalala mo yun. Pero ngayon, nakaka-LL ka na, na-afford mo na lahat siguro. Di ba? So, paano nagbago?
Well, first of all, we're very grateful, no? Kasi none of this is possible if not for God's favor lang din talaga. So, I think ngayon I'm very happy to be able to not only provide for myself but provide for other people also. Like ngayon sa company we have like 65 employees.
Wow.
So it's really a joy to see na na blessed kami and we're becoming a blessing to other people as well.
I'm sure malapit din yung puso mo sa mga katulad mo dati.
Oh yeah.
Nagre-raise ng mga funds
Yes.
to support. Ngayon ba, ganun din?
Yes, we are supporting and we hope to be able to increase that as we continue to grow also.
Oo, yung parang ano rin eh. Alam mo kagandahan, guys, no, at saka Ryan, na kahit na wala ka sa ministry, hindi ka full-time, pero you're able to support the people who are in full-time.
Yeah.
Kasi dalawa yan eh, guys, no? I just want to encourage you. It's either you can be a goer, ikaw mismo, kung wala ka talagang pondo, iaalay mo yung buhay mo, yung talent mo, yung skills mo, para sa gawain ng Diyos, or you can become a sender. Ikaw naman ang magsusupport. It is as if na ikaw na rin yung nandun.
Yeah.
Tama? So, now, what motivates you and your wife to keep on going?
When we started this, parang we ask ourselves, ano bang goal natin? To have many branches so we can have more money? Kasi parang we want our work to be also our avenue to fulfill our purpose. And yun nga, Chinky, sabi ko, we are convinced na ang purpose namin is to be blessed so we can be a blessing. And if we believe that this company is going to be really an avenue to help people, elevate people's lives, then it should not stay in one location. We need to create as many as possible so that we can help more and more people and bless more families that they represent.
Galing. Alam mo, while you're saying that, bibigyan kita ng perspective, no, from an outsider. Ang blessing kasi, ito una, syempre, gusto mo bless pamilya mo. Tama? Pero more than the blessing sa pamilya mo, nabe-bless mo yung mga kliyente nyo eh. Diba? Kasi happy sila eh.
Yeah.
Diba? And then nabe-bless mo rin empleyado. Tama? Kasi the more branches, more employees, more opportunities. Pero ang pinaka-best niyan, nabe-bless mo rin yung mga taong gusto niyo tulungan.
Yeah.
Diba? So, sobrang yan, sobrang galing. So, who do you want to thank right now, habang ikaw nanonood, no, on supporting your journey right now? Sino gusto mo pasalamatan?
Of course, si God, no? First and foremost. Sabi nga, apart from God, we have nothing. Like, wala tayong pwedeng ipagyabang talaga. But second is, of course, my wife. Chinky, lahat ng highs and lows, good and bad, yung wife ko yung kasama ko. And she's been very supportive from the start. Actually, nung una nga, ang idea ko ng marriage is, nung pastor ako, is I pastor and my wife is full-time housewife. And kahit na deep inside, gusto niya maging dentist, sinet aside niya yun for 1 year. To try and to support me. So, lahat ng mga milestones and breakthroughs, it's because of our supporting each other, encouraging each other, and I will not be able to be here today
Kung wala siya.
kung wala yung wife ko.
Alam mo, hindi lang yan, no? Alam mo, while you're saying that, kasi may plano ka eh. God will provide for me, I'm a minister, pastor ako, wife ko will be provided by God. Pero alam mo, yung dumating sa akin, na parang word is, many are the plans in a man's heart. But in the end, it's God plans that prevails.
Yeah.
Diba? Marami kasi tayo, magaganda naman plano natin eh. Maganda naman intention natin eh. Pero, maari hindi yan ang pamamaraan ng Diyos. Kaya nga, ganun din para sa iyo, kapatid, na marami kang mga plano para sa pamilya mo. Marami kang plano sa sarili mo. Check mo. Babalik na naman tayo sa tension eh. Kung may tension ka, kung wala kang kapayapaan sa puso mo, alam mo, baka magtagal ka lang dyan eh. Bakit di mo bigyan yung sarili mo ng pagkakataon na subukan? Diba? Katulad ng Sinubukan ng misis mo na 1 taon. Hindi ka naman kinontra. Pagkatapos ng 1 year, na-realize nyo na hindi talaga pa pwede at hindi talaga kaya. Diba? Ganun din. Bigyan mo na sarili mo ng pagkakataon. Subukan mo. Pag hindi nag-work, ibig sabihin, hindi pa plano ni Lord. Malay mo kung mag-work, katulad na nangyari sa'yo. So, right now, how can they, get in touch with your services? How do they get in touch with you?
We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we're in TikTok, we have website. All the contact details are there also. So,
Anong hahanapin nila?
Elevate Dental PH. We're opening 2 more branches. I
Wow.
will not disclose the locations yet, but we're very excited.
Yeah, alam ko yung isa kasi sa Mars, yung isa sa Jupiter. Kaya kailangan mo pa ng rocket ship. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Thank you, Chinky,
Yeah.
for this opportunity to share our story.
Galing, galing. Guys, kung ikaw, probinsyano ka, di ba? Katulad ni Ryan Tan, ni Coco Martin, di ba? Probinsyano. Di ba? Na parang feeling mo, ay nako, meron bang manggagawa at mangyayari sa buhay ko? Sasabihin ko sa inyo, again, God has a plan to prosper you, not to harm you. To give you a hope and a future. His plan is to make you the head, not the tail. His plan is to make you the lender, not the borrower. His plan is to make you at the top, not at the bottom. Kaya kung ikaw ay nadi-discourage, nadi-depress ka ngayon, timing na timing itong episode na ito. Itong episode ay dedicated para sa iyo. Siguro, last na lang, for people who are really discouraged and nawawalan ng hope because of trials and challenges nung nararamdaman mo when you were starting, is it okay for me to request for you to pray for the people?
Okay, if you're going through tough times or difficult situation right now, I just want to encourage you na in the midst of all the things that are happening, you can be sure na merong ginagawang good si God behind the scene. And God can use the good and the bad, our good decisions and our bad decisions. Wag lang tayong mawala ng hope. Let's be strong, let's be courageous, let's continue our journey. Kasi we have a God who is full of mercy. And maganda yung plano niya sa ating lahat. So I just want to pray for you right now. For those of you na parang gusto na mag-give up, but God wants to tell you, this is not the end. So let's pray. Lord, I pray for those who are going through tough times, who are thinking of quitting and giving up, that, Lord, you will encourage them and you will give them the strength, Lord, to go another mile, to fight another day, and believe na in the midst of all the bad things that's happening, you are doing something good behind the scene. And in time, you will use all these things, the good and the bad, to work together for good. And maybe months from now or years from now, they will look back and they will see na ang galing mo pala, God. Kaya pala inalaw mo yon. So, Lord, I pray for everyone that they will be reminded that you have a purpose and a great destiny for their life. In Jesus' name, amen.
Salamat, salamat, Ryan. Guys, if you were encouraged, please type encourage sa comment section. And if you do like this episode, no, and just give me your comments. At the same time, if you want to be also to be part of our guest, kung gusto niyo mag-guest na rin dito, you have an inspiring story to share, please email nyo na lang kami. This is the email address na nakikita nyo sa screen right now. Send us your story. Malay nyo, ikaw na yung next na nandito na nakaupo, so that you will be able to share your story as an inspiration to others. Tatandaan, tamang karunungan, tamang disiplina, ang susi sa pagyaman.
I had 5 brain surgeries na eh. May pindutan nga dito eh.
Joe Magsaysay has a condition,
Di ko alam kung kailangan ko titigok eh.
and he is living one day at a time.
Baka bukas, baka ano.
Naintindihan nyo to na parang huwag nating sisihin ang ating mga magulang kung bakit sila ganun. Dahil hindi nila na naintindihan, hindi rin nila tilanggap. Ngayon, ikaw mas nakakaunawa. Ikaw dapat ang mag-umpisa, ikaw mag-initiate.
2 money masters,
I'm happy for you, no?
2 different stories.
But ako, I was robbed of that eh. Kaya ganito ako kasi my dad died before I could show that.
Subscribe to Chinky Tan's YouTube channel to learn more from the Money Masters.
So I'm living a day at a time lang.